Yo, what's up, everybody? Just wanted to have a little recap of the draw slash executions. If you had trouble today reading price action, I think it was a pretty little cheeky, easy day. Continuation, and yeah, let's get started. So, going into the day, right? What did we have below? And what did we have above, right? So, we were unable to distribute higher, leaving all these highs, and we are just running through all of this bullish line of defense, right? All these FEGs just respecting bullish, respecting bearish. Not only that, but we have this really fat range that we perfectly respected CE of it. So if we're going purely by reactions, what does this really tell you, right? We respected CE perfectly. And what do we have below and what do we have above? Above we have this gap protecting all of these highs, high resistance, and not only that, but we are reacting and distributing it from this gap beautifully, even below CE, closing below CE. And what do we have for bullish cent? And what do we have for the lows? We have this swing low. We have these swings low, swing low, and this previous day low, and these previous week lows, right? So. And then what do we have protecting these swing lows, right? We have all of these gaps that are just being disrespected. And right here, what do we have for bullishness? Do we have any reasoning to completely reverse from here? No. The only reasoning we have to distribute for bullish order flow here is to rebalance this range, right? Rebalance the equilibrium of this range and the inefficiency, right? The high time frame for value gap. So once we do that and we are just reacting beautifully, you shouldn't really have bullish conviction because you're essentially targeting high resistance, right? On ES, super similar, super. So not only do we have it so clearly on NQ, we have it on ES, which just means how correlated we are, right? So, yep, scaling down, right? Scaling down towards time frame where we can actually see what price is doing through open. Price opens, we get a little. I love this, the fact that on open we get a little Judas swing, because what happens? We open and we leave this, right? We actually SMT it, but still we're leaving prominent liquidity here, right? And session liquidity, yeah, we're leaving these lows, which is an amazing sign that yes, we sweep it later, as we can see here. So yeah, we open low, and I'm like, okay, this is fine because we're accumulating. So regardless, I want to see us break out of this range, and that is what we do. To sell side, which isn't that good, but it gave me conviction because through that open, 9:30 open, I wanted to see price manipulate higher. And since we are just going where we stop on sell side, it's nothing significant. Like us making this open low is insignificant because we have nothing to manipulate from here, right? So we go higher. Yeah, right here I think we get a little entry, I suppose, because on NQ we do have an SMT right here on these highs, targeting a 15-minute gap right here. That could be. I think I took a little shitty 30-second right here, but it was just it was more of a gamble towards these accounts that were just about to get deactivated, so I didn't really give a fuck. So yeah, that's essentially why I did that. Don't recommend it, right? But yeah, not a valid entry or anything. Just SMT these highs and had a gap right here on yes. Anyways, we wait. We get a little entry right here at 9:58 or 9:59. We get a 1-minute IFVG right here, which is amazing. We manipulate into a high time frame gap. Everything's perfect. However, I took this trade, but on an eval, because I was like, if I see this play out and I see 10 a.m. if this is I thought the manipulation was strong enough for 10 a.m. to distribute. However, I didn't notice that at that time when 10 a.m. opens, 10 a.m. also creates a new gap, which is perfect for 10 a.m. to open, manipulate into the gap that was just created, and then distribute lower, right? Super easy stuff, power of 3. So, but I didn't take it on my XFA because it was too. I just, as a rule, I do not take trades 5 minutes right before 10 a.m. So that saved me. I should have been um, paying attention that happened, right? But I didn't, sadly. But yeah. Aside from that, I wait for 10 a.m. to manipulate into the new 4-hour gap that was just created right here. I mark see consequential encroachment of the wick, and I put my stop loss right here. I aim for a 1-to-1, which we don't get, sadly, and unfortunately, we take this internal low, which was like kind of my break. Honestly, we take it on ES after the inversion, and I still hold till I'm in drawdown on my XFA. However, I go break even after a bit because we're just like that, and just the fact that like it was just kind of sus. I went break even. My whole significance with going break even was this SMT of the internal low. But I decided to hold the trade on my eval because I only needed a 1-to-7, a 1-to-0.7. Should have been like around here with my late slippage entry, and which we do get, and I passed my eval on that. But on my XFA, I did go break even, which is a valid break even in my opinion. But yeah, my targets were all this. I thought this was all gonna get swept during that inversion. It does get swept eventually, but yeah, just very unfortunate. We end up actually resweeping and remanipulating this range right here, just barely actually. So yeah, I mean, the only mistakes I would say is just yeah, waiting for that 10 a.m. macro. For anybody out there, on my XFAs, I obviously do take it a lot more strictly. I waited for the 10 a.m. macro, and it saved me from even looking at that 4-hour gap, which I should have been aware of. I wasn't, but I should have been. Yeah, and I don't really see a lot of other entries that you could have taken unless you're using like 30 seconds. Even then, I was looking for 30 seconds on my evals, and I just, yeah, super rangy day. Sucks that we couldn't deliver that great, but I mean, the model was there. The narrative was there. The draw was there. The draw was lower, so yeah, pretty easy day. If you should have been able to read the draw and the narrative, but if you weren't, low key like